How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Trigun Stampede episode review. Today's episode is episode 9, entitled Millions Knives. And before we go any further, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this one. Boy, where do I start on this? I say that a lot, don't I? Where do I start? But sincerely, where does one start? Because I enjoyed last week's episode because I thought it was a fun way of doing a flashback. It's like, oh, it is a flashback, but it's more so Vash actually thinking about what's going on, right? He's remembering all of how we get to this point, right? Because he wakes up and he got the busted arm and blah, 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 blah. And this one is still the same, but it feels like the main plot is progressing so damn fast, especially compared to the original anime. Even a lot of it seems like possibly Knives' plan may be in line with what he was doing in the manga, collecting all of the plants so he can absorb them and become a mega plant. But we got some stuff to go over, y'all. We got some stuff to go over. And if we're gonna, first thing I was gonna go over was the plot. So let's break it down. The beginning of this episode opens up with Knives, right? He's playing the piano and he's remembering when he played the piano. It sounds really somber, lonely, and like disjointed. Like his playing was disjointed. It wasn't bad, it just sounded disjointed. And then Vash comes in and he has that nice little melody and they meld well together. But Vash is, with the smile, and Knives is with the This is Virgil and Dante before Virgil and Dante were a thing. And a doctor comes in, says, I did the thing for you, but why? Why? I guess they've been hiding in this place where Vash caught up to him. Because they weren't supposed to be there because guards come in. And they do a thing called the last run because the plants are dying. And, when they turn red, they're all dying. The last run is when you use up all of the plant juice and expel all the energy. And we see when that happens, that whole entire city is lit up. So it's like, okay. And it's the exact same place where we left off last episode. Now, here, the confrontation between Knives and Vash, where he calls him Knives, he's like, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Blah, 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 blah. Not what I thought from Vash, right? In the original anime, when he met up with his brother, he's like, I'm going to make him pay without, Luida, or any of that. He's like, I'm making pay. He ends up, losing his arm, and, his brother wants his gun. The gun meant something in the other anime. I don't remember if it meant anything in the manga. I can just easily pull that up as I talk to you. But, and here, Knives is like, can you hear him screaming? And the human guys are like, get you guys out of here. And the doctor is, I used a word in my notes that I will not use on camera, but I'm just going to say the doctor is a bitch. Because he's like, don't touch him. And he might understand that Knives is actually a sentient plant. But my goodness, man, he's simping hard for Knives. And Knives is like, well, you know what? You can't hear them screams. I'll settle for yours. And he grows, shredder claws and kills a bunch of them. More come in. They got their guns. And Vash is like, why? Why are you doing this? He's like, the humans use us plants and, blah, blah, blah. And Vash says, Rim did all this work to save these people. Why are you killing them? And he's like, that damn woman. She's still getting in my way. Because he said, after all that work I did to reroute all of the systems so that only the plant ship would survive and all the human ones would just die. Can you tell how much I hate Knives as a character? Because hold on, the hypocrisy. I'll give this show credit for one thing, if only one thing. If I had to give credit for one thing, it answers my questions immediately when I start getting frustrated, right? So Knives' whole thing is, the humans use us up, they use plants, we are plants, blah 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 she blah, right? And you can go, okay, I can see, all right, even though they're the only sentient ones, they use them up and they don't want their brethren being used up. And Vash goes, don't you remember what Rem said? If plants are left alone, they will use up all their power in one burst and instantly die. They need to help to be regulated by humans. He's like, you believed what she said? Oh, my Zord. Oh, my Zord. So this is the type of stupid shit that this F boy. Here we go. F boy. He's an F boy. He's an F boy. That makes you choose to not believe her. Why? Because she's a human. If you want to believe any human, I would believe. I would believe Rem, especially since she actually cared about your dumb ass. So his whole thing is something about, well, even if the chains are comfortable, they're still chains. And he goes about and he kills the rest of the people. And one guy goes, I'm sorry, we're just doing what we need to do to survive. He dies. And he gets the gun. And here's the kicker. Here's the hypocrisy. And I know that is the point of the character. That is the point of the layers. He grabs the gun and goes, oh, it's a weapon for sinners who use from afar with the twitch of a finger. It's perfect for a human lover like you, Vash. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, you're using human religion, you dipshit. If you hate humans so much, why are you reading from the good book? You could have made up your own spaghetti monster shit. But you're going, hey, with the people and the things and just shut up. Now, as opposed to Knives just being insane from the original anime, this is my point of reference. I can't use too much reference from the manga, only the things that I pull up and read from there. Excuse me. But it doesn't make sense. Because now instead of being insane, you're trying to add this layer of, oh, he's, doesn't want his brethren to be used. Maybe something happened on the ship. They're going to give us a flashback for that. Something happened on the ship where he's just like, I can't take. No, he just seemed like a salty bitch the entire time. As a child, he was a salty bitch. Now he's a crazy salty bitch who just happens to have more power because he knows how to control his special S. and wait till you guys hear this part. So he thinks that. So Luida comes up, like, "Hey Vash, everybody wants you to come back home." He looks at her with disdain, just humans are just nasty. Bro, you look like a human. You literally look like a human. Off yourself then, if that's the case. And he wants Vash to give her the old axe. He's like, it'll be your first step, because my plan, I need you. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And he takes the gun. He goes over getting ready to shoot her. And Vash topples him and says, I'm not going to let you take anybody else from me. You took Rem, I'm not going to do it. He knocks Vash out. And he goes to choke. He's choking out Luida. And his whole thing is he calls Rem a witch. He's like, how many times are you going to take him away from me? All right, so now he's on top of being dumb, he's a brother con. Okay, cool. Also, looked up real quick in these notes. The gun does not matter in the manga. So that's what they're going for with this. The gun has no special meaning. In the manga, he uses his unique gun more out of novelty and habit. Visually, the gun in the manga is more different than that anime, though it has special features, blah 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 blah. It's a revolver in the anime. It's used as a two panel replacement for a standard gun. He gets a replacement gun, but the gun matters in the anime more so than the manga. So there is a difference, and I'm okay with those differences, but it just doesn't make any sense with this whole Knives being because you know the truth, but you hate humans that much. And I promise you, no matter what they show me from a past on why he would go, oh, she Rim seems like the kind of person that will tell you the truth. Won't tell it to you harshly, because some people think telling you truths harshly is good. She would just tell them the truth, like, yeah, you guys are the only sentient ones where you were born from a planet. We don't know how that happened, but you're the only ones that are sentient. All these other ones, they cannot think. They don't have higher functions like you. And here's the X, Y, and Z of it, right? Now, sure, there are people that probably look at them like, ugh, these freaky things, but unless you show me a thing where he was getting beaten up by humans, which he wasn't because they're all in stasis sleep, this doesn't make any sense. The doctor has to be. So we the thing I told you is crazy. It's 150 years later because Luida and Brad are still alive, and I'm guessing Dr. Conrad was this other dude's dad. I mean, this other dude's grandson. Hell, it could be the original doctor just experimented on himself, right? But we found out how Vash loses that arm, y'all. While Knives is killing her, together they are Nash. Vash's power is a gate. He opens up the gate, and it looks like a black hole, and it's sucking in dead bodies and sucking in stuff. And Knives is like, dang it, gets his little blade claws, cuts off Vash's arm, and his arm gets sucked into the gate, and that's where his arm is gone. He passes out, and Ludi's gonna get him. Don't touch him. Vash pulled that gun out so fast with that one arm. All right, I'm gonna give you 100. I'm gonna give you 100 years, and then I'm gonna do all this. A mere 100 years. Plants 100 years doesn't mean anything. And so now 150 years. The reason why Ludia and Brad are still alive, cold sleep. Now they're visibly older, but they're in cold sleep. They come out, every so years, but while in cold sleep, they don't age. Cool part is they've been growing literal flora and fauna, literal plants, not the weird plants, actual plants. And it's interesting to see characters like Roberto and Meryl react to this, because Meryl sees the blue flowers. We're all just like, it's grass and flowers. 150 years, they've never seen this. They don't know what. And Ludi's like, this is flora. And the reason why they're showing it, because Roberto was the biggest freaking buzzkill. I cannot stand this character. You could have just put Millie in this position. I will never like this character, even though they tried to make him cool on this one. Well, he's like, okay, so they have a dome. And he's like, well, yeah, but you guys standing with plants, right? She shows him all that, and he's like, yeah, but you still got to use plants, like what, 1 or 2 plants? And she's like, we're doing this stuff with the flowers so we can stop using plants. How long that's going to take? A decade? A century? She's like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I'm not going to justify doing wrong things just to survive. And then he gives this whole stupid speech about, well, that niceties is not needed here on no man's land. I hate the new name. I love the original, the old name of Gunsmoke. I love that name. Anyway, gave it such a cowboy feel. He does the whole thing, you do your thing and I'm do my way, but either way it goes, we're both heading towards the same place. And then she tells him you can't smoke in here because he tries to smoke. And he calls Meryl by her name instead of Newbie for the first time. Animation on her running. They use this animation for Meryl very well, even though this looks like it's just hand-drawn. You could have just hand-drawn it. Whatever. That's that side, right? How did they get there? The sandstorm. They just happened to find a ship in the sand. It's been there. It's been hidden. Thank goodness. I hope. Of course, the worms come. It's Zazie the bitch. Oh, sorry. Zazie the beast, not the bitch. Oops, still said it. Zazie, who apparently attacked them, and Ludi is hurt. Took the reporters. So we get the same damn conversation again. We're going. So what you gonna do? By the way, Brad made Vash's artificial arm. That's who he comes to get it fixed. Nice. So comes in just like, so what are you gonna do? Do you think you're gonna make up with Knives? And he's quiet, looking down, hurt and pensive. And he just says, I'm going to save everybody. Humans, plants, and Knives. I promise to never kill anybody again. Again? Is this Vash blaming himself for the crash? Or did Vash actually kill somebody? Me wonders. And Wolfwood just says, empty words, which, again, I don't need Wolfwood and Roberto. I don't care if Roberto was supposed to try to sound cool. You could have just made an older Millie. Then we would have had 3 female characters having this conversation and seeing different stages of their life. Someone that's been around for 150 years that has hope, because Roberto says she sounds like Vash, which Vash probably got part of that from her. Then you have Meryl, who's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, but she's willing for a new hope. She's going to fight for things. And you got the old dude that's like, well, I want what they want, but I'm still jaded about it. You could have just... It could have been 3 phases, 3 different kind of women. Whatever. Stupid. No reason to just... Stupid. They get kidnapped, though. I said that. But, by the way, Brad... And I knew there was a reason why I just kind of dismissed Brad a little bit. Because Brad even says, I used to be just like you when I was younger. Yeah, old man. Yeah, I was. But Vash is tough. Don't worry about it. Now, of course, the episode ends with Vash and Wolfwood going to try to rescue these two. Because they've been captured and sent to July. Now, at July, it's the 3rd city. July is also in the manga, the manga and anime where Vash got his reputation because of an incident happening there. So, we'll see what happens in July. But Zazzy's asking, what would be better for the worms, for we worms, the humans or the plants? He's like, this was our planet first. Humans destroyed a planet already. They don't know this information. They don't know this history. Man, is life imitating art, is art imitating life? If you know, you know. So he does his little worm magic. He's not really there because Roberto tried to shoot him. It's a conduit. But he shows the planet Earth. He's like, Earth had lots of life, not just humans. All of this. And then they use all the resources. So why? And he shows them all the red plants. They're wondering, all right, 150 years, why is he gathering all this? The doctor comes in. Kind of mad that Zazie showed us. Zazie says, Knives invited me here, not you. I'm in allegiance with him. And he's going to tell them, but he wants them to tell him, who do you think is going to come out on top on all this? Humans or plants? Because they want to know, what was the point of collecting all this? We'll probably find out next week. Which is crazy for me to say that they're going to find this out next week. First of all, I'm glad that Vash has been around for 150 years. That aligns with all the other media. Okay, I get the gun doesn't really matter. Sure, whatever. This will be the second time it's happened. Vash's power being the gate thing is kind of weird. I don't know if he has the angel arm in the manga. I don't think he does. I actually need to do some research and find out what his special ability is in the manga, but yeah. Oh, apparently Vash's coat changes a lot in the manga too. Leave it to mangas to do changes, but this is crazy fast. This is episode 9. This is the type of revelation stuff you see in like middle of the seasons, or you see it peppered out there with a flashback episode here while he's waking up, and now we're just getting full blown. Here's the villain's plan, right? From another villain who's technically, I guess, just an entity that's just, he's here because he's here. It's weird, man. It's weird. Obviously, they recognize Zazzy's voice, but they don't recognize the face because he has on the mask, the bug mask. So, all this to say, I'll give this. It's not dragging, it's just fast. So I'll give it a 4. It is a very middle 4. Not a high 4, not a low 4. It's a very middle 4. Because, man, we're going fast, right? Where do you go from here besides saying what his plan is? Is his plan going to succeed? Like, how many episodes? I don't even know how many episodes this season is. I was going to assume 10 or 12. So, if the season ends in like another three episodes, does that mean we're going to get a part 2 where this continues? Or, I don't know. I still find it annoying that Millie cannot defend herself. You took away that. That's just so many decisions made just to make certain characters even more strong. Where I've complained about this before. You know how I feel about it. I still find that to be annoying. But I digress. I give it a 4 out of 5. What do you think? It stays at it's not boring. That's why it's not a 3, right? It's not boring. But I guess the fact that it keeps making me say what's gonna happen next now is the reason why I'm giving it a 4. Because you hooked me. Just make this good, please. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, please. Please let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. I thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about Trigun Stampede. Take care of yourself. Be good. Be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes. Please don't be a jerk. And above all other things, realize that you are not alone and there's someone out there that cares about you. Someone would rather talk to you today than miss you and mourn you tomorrow. Your life is precious. Everyone's life is precious. So be good. Be good. And with that, guys, I'm Shane. I'll see you next time. You know what? I should just do it to him. Bang.